Hi everybody, it's Carol with Refunction Crafts, and today I'm going to show you something different. You will see that I have one of the usual little heart molds. I am going to do another heart, but we're going to do something completely different with this one today. I happened to be wandering around in my backyard yesterday and found some weeds, these little green weeds here. I don't even know what they are. But there were a bunch of them growing up in my backyard. So I thought, let me just pick some of those and I'll kind of try and think of something I could do with them. So what I ended up doing is I spray painted a bunch of them white with my Rust-Oleum Paint Plus primer. And here you're going to see, now I did these yesterday and I picked these yesterday, but you can see these shrank from yesterday. So I found that the best thing to do is when you find something like this and you want to alter them or whatever you want to do, paint them right away. If you're going to paint them, if it's a green or a greenery of any type, because it is going to begin to shrink. And so I found, you can see, both sets of these are still big and beautiful and fluffy. So I will be painting these later, but I also at some point would like to try some green ones just to see if they stay green. I don't think they will. I think they'll turn brown and won't come out too good, but I will try them in a sort of a different way. Just to see what happens, because I like to do that. Because I do like the green. The green is beautiful, and once you put it in the resin, I don't think it's going to shrink up and all of that. But the only thing is it may turn brown. So that's my big question on those. I'm trying to put these in a little cup that I have here, and I try to put one in and another one pops out. Okay, that's good enough. So these are the ones we're going to use today. I left some of them white because I thought maybe we could kind of mix them. And I'm hoping they're going to fit well in the heart. And I can see that it actually does kind of sit above the line of the heart, but that's okay. Because we really only need to be able to see one side of these. And what I'm going to do is I am going to put a small layer of resin at the bottom of this before I lay these in. But what I do want to do, before I do any of this, I do want to show you how I did the weeds, how I painted them. Because isn't that an important part? Look at how pretty these came out, you guys. They're just gorgeous. I love them. So I'm going to show you how I painted them. And I used these 4 colors. These 2 are folk art. These are deco art. These are just paints that I had. That I had recently bought these 2, and these 2 I think have been around for a little bit. But I got these over at Michael's. Actually, you know what? I think I bought all 4 of them at Michael's. I did. I bought all 4 of these at Michael's about a month ago. But I do have some of these laying around from years ago, literally years ago, that I probably should throw away. I mean, literally, when I say years ago, I mean 15 years ago or more. So I really need to just toss those, because most of them I open them up and they're all dried out. So, okay, so I've got some paint brushes here. And so these are what we're going to use to paint them. I'm going to take, one of these I left green and painted it. And I think it was this one. Yeah, it was this one. I left this one green and painted it, and it stayed really nice. So I honestly don't even think you have to do the white part in the middle, but I did, and I like that I did that on some of them because it kind of thickens parts of the weed, so I kind of like that. So I will probably go ahead and spray paint the rest of the green ones that I have, before I do anything else with them. And then on these, the stems did get painted white, but I just painted them green with this. So that was not a big deal. And that actually will help to keep that stem stiff. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to take one of these and I'm going to just show you what I did. And this is just my mind at work, you guys. My mind is going constantly trying to find things from nature. I have these that I bought a little while back. I think at Michael's as well, or maybe at Dollar Tree, I don't know. But anyway, I have these, and I love them, but they're too big to use for anything. So, unless I'm doing a big project, and I just love them. And I thought, when I saw these weeds, I thought, wow, those look like those big ones that I have. Maybe I can make some small ones. So, that's what I chose to do. So, I don't think I'm going to be using these two paintbrushes here. I want to use my little ones. So I've got these two here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start, I think I'm just going to do this. I'm going to shake it up, and I have paint in the lid. And I'm just going to leave it like that and hope that I don't dump. I'll just set those aside. That's what I'll do. Got enough paint in each lid that way, and I'm not going to have these open for very long, so it won't be a big deal. This one is much thinner than the other ones. I'm going to pour a little bit just down in there. Okay, so there's that one. And little bit of green. It's like an avocado green or a sage green. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I added some resin to this bottle here. I'm almost out of resin, guys. Like almost totally out of my BS resin. So I think I'm going to try and order like the 1,000-gram thing that Sherry sent me the last time, because it lasted a while, and I do love this resin. So I thought, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'll have to order some in the next few days here so that I have it. Okay, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this first? I don't know. I need to take the heart out of the way for a minute, and we're gonna start painting. I get so sidetracked, you guys. Oh my goodness. So, oh, I wanted to read you guys a quote too. I did pull a quote, and it says, "Not all storms come to disrupt your life. Some come to clear your path." I like that. I liked that a lot. The minute I saw it, in fact, that was the first quote that I saw this morning, and I just grabbed it. So I'm taking first my light pink, my barely pink, and I'm just kind of going over really the whole thing with that. So that's sort of my background color. And you don't have to be super neat about it. In fact, I like to have a few like thicker spots where the paint is a little bit thicker. So I'm just going to go over there with a nice blob of paint on my brush. And I'm just going to get in here and paint. Now these are a little bit delicate, so you just have to be careful how you're holding it so you don't break the stem, because then it'll be really hard to paint. So, and it's really easy. You guys can get through painting a bunch of these, you know, just sitting in front of the TV. I don't know what kind of weeds you guys all have in your backyard, but get outside and look around. There's a lady on TikTok. She does art with nature. And what she does is she makes on a piece of paper, she spreads out her little weeds and flowers and things, and she literally makes a piece of art. She takes photographs of it. And let me tell you, it's beautiful stuff. This lady, it has like the best creative mind, sort of like Jedrick does with resin. She does with nature. Oh my word, she is so talented. But anyway, she makes these artistic pieces, takes photos of them, and then she what does she do? Oh, then she puts them all back out into the atmosphere. When she's done taking photographs, she doesn't stick them down or glue them down or anything like that. She just puts the pieces on the paper, takes her photographs, and then takes them back outside and puts them back out into the world. And I think that is a wonderful idea. I mean, I don't know how much they really help the world going back out there, but that's where they were born and that's where they were meant to be, and so that's what she does. And I think it's very cool. But her art is amazing. So there we go. So we have a completely painted, beautiful, beautiful flower with the 3 pinks. And voila. And I did bring a little cup of water, so I'm going to rinse that in my water. I'm going to set it aside. I'm going to take this one, and I'm just going to paint the stem with this green. It's only white a little ways down, so, and the green literally matches the natural green of the stem. And I feel like I didn't get all of it. That side needs to be painted. I couldn't tell if it was spinning in my hand or not. I was trying to spin it around, but I didn't feel like it was moving. Okay, so there we go. And now you'll just put this somewhere to dry. And I'm going to just set it down over here. Whoop, whoop, and I dropped it. Oh my word. I knew that was going to happen. I don't know why I put it right there, because it dropped in between a couple of things. Goodness. Okay. Come on. Sit there. Okay. There we go. So that one's just going to sit and dry. I'm going to put this in the water. And I'll take my little paper towel here and clean my brushes. And we're going to put these lids back on their bottles. And so that's it. That's all you do to paint these flowers. Super, super, super simple. And it's therapeutic, and it's a thing you can do sitting in front of the TV, which is great, because in the evenings I do like to sit and watch TV. And I like to have something to do. I do not sit well, you guys. I used to love to just sit down, and I could literally sit down and watch movies all day long. All day. Anymore, I can't sit for 5 minutes, and I know why this is. I just haven't gotten a hold of myself to try and change that so that I can relax a little bit, because I just don't relax. My body never relaxes, and that is not healthy, guys. So make sure you take time out for yourself to enjoy some alone time and quiet time. I do not have quiet time at all. Ever. And I'm not kidding you guys. It's crazy. Okay, so we're going to lay these right here. And I'm going to put a layer of resin down on the bottom of this, because I don't want these to poke through the resin. So the only way to make sure that doesn't happen is to put a layer of resin down at the bottom and cure it just a thin layer, just a little thin layer. Get it cured, and then we can move on to designing our flowers. And I think I can spread that around and make that work. Let's see. I'm gonna go grab, let's see, I'll just use this. I've got a brush here, but it's got, oh, I've already got a paper towel wrapped around it. It's got some resin on the stem, and I need to get it in there and get it cleaned up. But as long as you put these in a safe place, you can reuse them for a while if you keep them from getting dried out and keep them out of the light. They will stay soft, your brushes, and you can continue to use them as long as you're using them in clear resin. You can continue to keep using them. You can wrap them in cellophane and then wrap some foil around them so that the light doesn't get to them, and they will last. And let's see, here's my torch. Get rid of all those little bubbles in there. I'm just waiting until I don't see any of them popping anymore. If you do this, you can kind of get some of the bubbles to pop up. And I do see they're still popping, so there's still definitely some bubbles in there. I don't usually do this much worrying about them, but I'm just showing you guys, if you really want to get bubble free, you can continue to do that. Okay, I'm going to turn my lamp on both sides, top and bottom. And we're going to put that in there for about 5 minutes. I'll be right back. Okay, so I just cut off some of the stems on some of these. That one's a little curly on the tip there. We don't want those little curls on there. Okay, I'm going to use a couple of the white ones. I feel like maybe I should use one of the thicker white ones too. I'm trying to use kind of a little bit of the smaller ones. I'd love to have one of these big ones in there. I'll put that one up there and use this. That is trash. Okay, so let's just nip this guy. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll start arranging. I got a little flower dust on there. We'll start arranging these inside the heart. So we've got that first layer of resin in there, all ready to go. And let's just see how we want these to look. I'm wondering, I'm gonna test them out on this side just for a second, because I'm wondering if they might look good kind of going in the direction of the heart, and then I can control the stems a little bit better as well, I think. Put this one right in between those two. just going to kind of maybe float up in there somewhere. There we go. Well, now that one doesn't have much of a stem on it. Okay. Let's see if I can pop this one in here somewhere. Maybe I'll just make this a really short one. Put that right there. And you can feel these do come past the lip of the heart. I'm okay with that, you guys. And I have this one little butterfly that I'm going to pop in here as well. And it's just going to go right up here in that corner. Just like that. Okay, and I think that's going to make me very happy. I think it's going to look really, really good. I just hope that I don't get any bubbles. So let's go ahead and I'm going to pop that out of there. Let's go ahead and fill her up. It's going to use a lot of resin because I do have to fill this one completely up. And I want to make sure I get this to go. In fact, well, I'll move them around after I get this resin in there. I'll just toss them around a little bit. I won't fill it all the way up this time. I will put it so that it gets maybe about halfway up the flowers, I think. I mean, I might, if it feels like it's sitting okay, I might just continue to add the resin. As long as these aren't like totally floating around. On this, I think I'm going to just go ahead and put the resin down underneath it and then lay it down. But I do want to be able to sort of torch it just a little bit. And I'm just going to go kind of over the tops of these. And then what I will have to do probably is sand the bottom side flat. I mean, I could literally make this the top side, the side that I'm working with, and let it be kind of more 3D-ish. And that would be pretty too. I've done that on a few things. Okay, this little guy is going to go in now. And I do want to send a toothpick in there to make sure there's no bubbles going to pop out of those wings. Kind of hard to get in there. But you want to make sure that resin gets up in between those wings. And I can see, what I see right now is I see resin floating underneath the heart down on the underside. And that kind of bothers me because sometimes when that happens, you end up with bubbles on the front that you have to somehow fill in. And I've done it before, I've had to do it before, and I've had it, you know, work out, but it's a lot of extra work. And here I'm pushing it because I'm trying to push the bubbles out of the underside. I could see where it was bubbling under there, and I did watch the bubbles come up, so maybe, just maybe, I'll get lucky and see that the heart is cupped on the underside, so that's where what I need to do is I need to like place something under it so that I get it sitting even so that both sides are cupping up the same. And I'm just going to pop my lamp right over the top of this, sitting right here where it's at. But I think I'm just about ready to put it under the lamp. Just got to get it, make sure I've got it as straight as I can have it. This is where you just find whatever you have in your craft room to situate things. And we'll just move these around a little bit. Gosh, I hope this turns out pretty, you guys. I really do. I'm really got high hopes for this one. It's going to be different than most of my other stuff, but I think it's going to be really pretty. I hope so. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my top lamp and pull it off. And I'm going to put it on number 5, and I'm just going to let it sit there for 5 minutes. And then I will do the bottom side as well after I get this top side cured. Okay, you guys, so here we go. We're going to see how the front side of this came out. And we're just going to hope that it came out good. So you just want to take your mold and see it's sticking right here. So I'm going to try to gently remove it. There's always one spot that wants to stick. These molds are not the best, most highest quality molds, and it is definitely stuck in this spot. So it's the same spot, oddly enough, that my first heart mold stuck. Exactly the same spot. So I wonder if it's the way they're making their molds, that something in their machining process or whatever they use to make them is not working right. So see, it's stuck to it right there. So now that mold right there is going to stick to everything. But I have 5 of these, so there we go. So that's what it looks like so far. Very pretty. And I've got a little bit of resin there kind of hanging over, so we'll nip that off with our nippers. And it usually comes off really well and really cleanly. It was a little thicker than I thought right there, so a little bit right here. You can always see it better from the front where it might be hanging over a little bit. Okay, so there we go, we've got it. And it looks like just a little bit some of the coloring changed on a few of these. This one did not, which is odd. Why just that one didn't change, but they're still beautiful. They still look really pretty. So the next step that we have here is we have our rhinestones. We're going to pop those on there. And you can see this is not going to sit flat on my mat here. Now there's ways you can keep this from doing this. I kind of like the cupped look of the heart, so I allow it to do that. But I do need to try and make a few that are not so cupped. But that's okay, because we're just going to go ahead. We're going to put our B7000 on here, and we're going to pop our rhinestones on. And I just keep going right over the edge there. Hold on, let me get that off the top of this now while it's easy. And I can clean any residue off of there fairly easily, but I'm going to be more careful now so that I don't do that. So we're just going to go all along here, and I see a little spot there that I need to nip off. That's okay, we can do that after the rhinestones get on because it's at the bottom. And we're going to put the rhinestones more towards the top of the heart. Don't go overboard with the B7000 or E6000, whichever you choose to use. But make sure that whatever adhesive that you're using, it's a good one and it's a strong one that's going to hold long term. Okay, so there we go. We've got that on there. We're going to wipe the tip and put this back in. Okay. And I didn't measure this around there, so we're just going to take this and we'll measure it around this heart so that at least I know I have enough. I may have to cut a couple of rhinestones off at the end, but that's okay. I always use those extra rhinestones on things. I just pop them into projects all the time, so that's not a big deal to me. It helps if you keep it kind of away from the other heart, though. Okay, come on. And this way, at least we know it's going to be enough because this is actually wider than the thing. So I'm going to go back a couple of rhinestones like that. And then with this one, because it is so cupped, we're going to hold it and lay our rhinestones on. And hopefully I can get them to all stay on there as I go around the heart. This is not going to be easy, guys. This is not the way I like to do this. But because this one is so much thicker than most of the ones I've been making, I usually don't make these hearts this thick, but I had to on this one because of the flowers being so thick. And I think I'm gonna lay it down. It'll be easier for me to work with while it's laying down. Holding it, then I have to use part of my hands to hold it, and that's not working for me. And yeah, I need to cut off 3 more rhinestones. These are 4mm rhinestones, you guys. I will put the link to them in the description menu. I got them on Amazon and at a decent price. 10 yards, and I think I paid $14.99 for 10 yards, you guys. That's a good deal as far as I'm concerned. I thought it was a very good deal because most of them are around that price for 5 yards. And these are decent rhinestones, so I'm not disappointed at all in the quality of these rhinestones. So very, very happy. And these are not sitting face up, so now that means I'm going to be short probably. Nope, I'm still going to make it. Okay, good deal. Okay, you guys. And it gets stickier as I work with it, so the stickier it gets, the better they're going to sit there while I'm adjusting. Because you will have to go around it a couple of times and just kind of adjust the rhinestones up. Turn them, whatever you got to do to them, do it now. Press them in. And then I'm trying to get them so that they're all sort of touching the top of the heart. I want them right up to the edge. And I do have that one little open spot right there. So I feel like I'm going to push these back a little bit. I'm going to pop off one of these rhinestones. And I'm going to pop it in there. I need to put a little more adhesive right in there. Just a dot. And then hopefully I can lift this up and, whoops, get that in there. It would help greatly if I was using tweezers. It really would. Because I can't get a great grip on this. There we go. There. Okay, we got it in there. Okay, so there we are with our rhinestones. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Now the bottom of this, the flowers are popping out. They're protruding out of the bottom of this, and I'll kind of try and show you that as well. You can see they're sticking out at the bottom. I'm not worried about that, you guys. I'm just not going to worry about it. I will nip them later and level them out a little bit and possibly even put a little layer of resin over the back side of this just to sort of smooth everything out. Okay, so there's that. We can put our rhinestones aside here. Okay, and then what we want to do is we want to get one of our sorry about the crunching, you guys. I thought I was doing better. I grabbed them out of a bag for some stuff that I've got set up, but I can get new ones for that. And we're going to put this one down here. And we'll just kind of mold it just a little bit so that it's going to mold with the heart. I'm going to put that one right there. And I'm going to go ahead and resin that on right now. We don't need a lot of resin. We're just going to kind of go through some of these holes here that are on this, and we're going to put the lamp on it. And I'm just going to do this for about 30 seconds. And then we'll move on to doing the top piece. And what I do need to do with this is I need to take my little round nosed pliers and increase the roundness and the size of the second hole down, because this is where our ball chain's going to go. You could use ball chain, you could use ribbon, whatever you want to put through this to hang it with. Ribbon is always very beautiful. I like my ball chain because I just feel like it's sturdy and it's not ever going to fall off or break or anything. So that's why I use ball chain. And I think I'm going to put this at the front side instead of the back. That way the detail is sort of on the front all the way across, sort of like that. Make sure it's centered, you guys. So what I like to do is I like to take a little bit of glue and hot glue and put it on the tips of those. Make sure I'm centered and pop it on there. And let that set so that I can resin it. I have a little glue string right there. Okay, so now we're going to take our resin one more time. And this piece we're going to resin a little bit more because it's sort of hanging off the edge a little bit more than the other one is. And we're going to just kind of go around it right here. I don't like to do that. Because that probably means I'm going to have to put one more layer of resin across the top. And I should probably do that now, but yeah, I'm just going to go for it, you guys. Let's go ahead and put a thin layer of resin over the top, just a little bit, and we'll just brush it over so that it covers that and it doesn't look like it's out of place just at the top there. So this is just a very thin coat, just brushed on there. And we'll go all the way up to the edges of this one. And this is where sometimes you guys, you just find out you just have to improvise with what you thought you needed to do with something that you know is going to work better. once you get started with a process. And that's just the way it goes, especially with resin. You don't always know how the resin's going to act. And make sure that it's doesn't have any spots that you've missed. And I'm going to dot a little bit more through the middle here and spread it out. And then we'll get our torch and we'll get rid of any bubbles. Okay, that looks good. And where did my torch go? There it is. And it's such a thin layer of resin there, it's not going to be a big deal. We're just going to grab our top lamp and again put it under there for 5 minutes. Okay, so now this is what we've got. It looks beautiful. It came out nice on top. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of these gorgeous leaves that Susie sent, or that Robin sent me. And aren't they gorgeous? I mean, they are gorgeous, you guys. She got these on Temu. So I have not bought anything on Temu for a little bit, just out of fear of not getting them. But she is still testing them out and making sure that things are getting where they're supposed to go and all that good stuff. She's brave. And so she sent me these beautiful leaves, and I love them, Robin. And I think I talked about these in my other video, and I want to say I said Susie and I meant to say Robin, and if I did, Robin, I'm sorry. I do that so often where I put the wrong name in there, and I knew who sent them to me. And as I was putting this together and cutting them out, it dawned on me that I really think I have another video that I did, and I actually did it before this one, obviously, and I said Susie, and I meant to say Robin, and if I did Robin, again, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I boo-booed. But they are so pretty, Robin. Oh my goodness, I've never seen leaves like these. They're gorgeous. And I'm going to put those two little white flowers there. I know they're roses. They're not like the wildflowers, but that's okay. I wanted them in there. So, that's what it looks like. And I don't think we're going to go any further than that. That is going to be it, you guys. We're going to put the ball chain in. Oh, there is one more thing that I want to put on there. I'm sorry. I did forget one thing. I was either going to put this at the top, like that, because I love this, and it's my last one of those, or I was going to put one of my bows slash butterflies. I don't know if they're butterflies or bows, you guys. They look like both. And I think I got some cornstarch in here on this thing. I'm not sure. It looks like cornstarch got in there. So I'm just brushing it out with one of my paint brushes. And I've got some water right here I can kind of dip in into to actually clean it. Okay, I just want to make sure it's not in there when I put this on. Okay, and then I need to nip this off of here, the little mesh chain. Okay, and so that was my other choice, and I really think I like that the best. So I'm going to put a little dot of hot glue on there, and I'm just going to place it down where I want it, like that. And then we're going to put some resin that will hopefully sink down through there. Or I'll just kind of go like this. And let it fall. But I don't want to let it come out the sides. Okay. So there's that. Now, let me put this in the lamp for just a couple minutes. And that part will be done. We'll put our ball chain on, and we are done, you guys. And I have to apologize to all of you really fast. I made a video. Whether it will go up before or after this one, I'm going to apologize now anyway. I made a video for one of my crackle hearts, and the video took me more than 2.5 hours to do. I had a lot of oopses in it, but I left the oopses in. And I realize it's a very long video, you guys. You don't even have to comment on that part of it, because I know, and I do apologize, but I did fast forward through some of it, and that literally, believe it or not, took 20 minutes off of the video. So yeah, it was even longer. But it's a good video, it's a good project, and I hope you guys will watch it. If you need to do a little fast forwarding through some of the portions of it, go ahead. But it is a good video, so I hope you guys will watch it and enjoy it. Okay, so we've got that on there, and now we're just going to go ahead and put our ball chain in. And we need to make the holes a little bigger. I thought I got in there far enough, but I guess I didn't. That should do it. That should do it. There we go. And I take it through the back side and then through the front side. You can do this any way you want to do it. This is just the way I do it. And then hook it here. I had this all set up and ready to go before I started the video. And there we go. All finished. Look at how beautiful that is. Woohoo! I thought about putting this butterfly in there as well, and actually it does look kind of pretty just kind of next to the other butterfly. I think maybe I will. Or I could put it on this side, but I like it right there. It actually does look good there. It doesn't overtake the whole thing. I thought it would, but we're going to go ahead. We're going to add this in there very quickly. I'm going to just put a little bit of resin right there. I'm going to set my butterfly on top of it. Turn my lamp on. And we're just going to cook the bottom side of this. Okay. And I feel good, you guys. I feel like we got something accomplished today. Now I have 2 videos ready. I apologize for not having a video over the weekend. I just had a really bad week last week, and honest to goodness, did not get any new videos accomplished. So I was disappointed in myself for that. It's not that I wasn't busy, because boy, did I keep myself busy, but I just didn't get any videos done, and I'm so sorry. And it sets me way behind when I do that, especially if I'm not getting a lot of comments and things on my videos, on these videos, because I got a little bit of resin on that, so it's going to stay right where it's at. Okay, that's all right. But anyway, I apologize to you guys. I didn't get any on the weekend, but I'm going to go ahead and try and get as many videos as I can done and add some extra videos over the next couple of weeks here. I'm going to just set this on top of this pad here, and there you go. Isn't it gorgeous? Isn't it gorgeous? Look at that. And I will get a hanging video of it so that you can see just how pretty it looks hanging. And look at that. I got lots of ultra shine, and it came out just gorgeous, you guys. I'm super, super happy with this. I love these hearts. I really love them, and I'm sorry if you think I'm doing too many of them, but I'm trying to get a whole bunch of them done. And I figure, why not go ahead and make videos on them, because everybody seems to like them. So that's why I've been making so many videos on the hearts. So thank you for watching. Be safe, be well, be kind. And I love you all for being here. Please make a comment and hit that like button. Hit the thumbs up. And subscribe if you're not subscribed, and hit the notification bell so that you'll get notified when I do future videos. So that's it, you guys. Love you all. God bless each and every one of you, and just stay safe, okay? I'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Stay tuned for pictures on the back end. Bye-bye. Love you.